Scott Bogle here with our third video on our Trans Am build. As you can see, I've got the engine together. This here, thanks to Butler Performance in Tennessee, is a 467 Pontiac based on a 455 block. And now this particular engine, all pieces and parts came from Butler, all ready to go. 455 block, it's been machined and bored. We did add 4-bolt main caps to it. We've got the good billet 4-bolt main caps on this thing. We've got a nice Eagle forged steel crank in it, Eagle H-beam rods, Butler's custom Ross flat top pistons. Should yield a compression ratio approximately 10.75 to 1. Full floating pins, total seal piston rings. Final cubic inches is right at 467. Now when I assembled this kit, the total kit from Butler, I did blueprint, plastic gauge everything, checked all the oil clearances, we're right on the money. Checked the fit on the piston rings, none of them needed to be filed, they were a drop-in set, but then tolerance, so everything was good there. Nice little, here's some of the parts. We do have Lunati roller lifters in the motor. It is a comp cam, special grind, hydraulic roller cam per Butler specs. So if you can get that up close, that'll show everybody the specs on the cam that's in the engine. We do have a Rob MC high volume fuel pump, which is good to about 600 horsepower. Here's some specs on the Ross pistons after they've been balanced. All balancing and machine work was done by Butler before the engine was actually shipped to New Mexico. Basically all I had to do was put it together and blueprint it and check all the clearances, which was no problem. Everything went together very nice. The heads have been ported. They flow I want to say 310 CFM on the intake side. I can't remember what the exhaust flow is, but they're a nice set of Edelbrock D-port heads. The intake manifold has been port matched to the heads. We did go with the Hurricane style single plane intake manifold because it is the exact same height as the stock manifold rather than an Edelbrock Performer. Butler swears by this intake. They think it's a very good high performance intake, and running the shaker hood on a Trans Am, you don't need any modification. The shaker hood will bolt directly to this. Also, we're running one of the Butler Valley pans. Got the PCV valve in here. A flow cooler aluminum water pump. Double roller timing chain. New dampener. New high performance dampener. It's a good dampener. We'll buzz this valve cover off real quick. So I know it's hard for people to believe all this stuff when they can't actually see it. So at least you'll get to see the roller rockers, stainless roller rockers, and the 3/8 chrome moly push rods that Butler supplied for the motor. There, you can take a look at that. We've got the nice roller, stainless steel roller rockers, the nice 3/8 push rods, all assembled. I've already set the valves for startup. Of course, once the motor's up and running and we get it up to operating temperature and run it for 20 or 30 minutes, then we'll retorque the heads, retorque the intake manifold, reset the valves. We've got the nice MSD ready to run distributor. Does not take an auxiliary MSD box. One can be added without any problem. Nice, simple, good spark, good fire. Then we went with the March front serpentine system. We got the nice chrome alternator and chrome water pump here. The only thing we're missing, which I'm just waiting on from Butler, is to send us the air conditioner compressor, which goes over here. We haven't got that yet, but I don't need it to drop the engine in. So that's kind of Holley HP 950. According to Bogle, this is a great carburetor for this engine. It doesn't actually flow 950 CFM. They call it an HP 950, but it flows more like 850 CFM. So don't think it's too big a carburetor, because it's not. And we're right at 467 cubic inches with a long rod motor, which makes tremendous torque. It'd be phenomenal on this thing. So really excited to get it in the engine, get it into the car, see how it performs. Next step, as far as this engine goes, before we drop it in, you can see over here, let me set this back on the engine for now so we don't get any dirt in it. We've got our pilot bearing, which will go in the butt of the crank. We've got our nice clutch. This is a very good high performance streetable diaphragm style clutch, came from American Powertrain. Our new Hayes flywheel came from Bogle. Be ready to install. We'll put this on, put the pilot in, put the flywheel, do our clutch. Then we've got a nice QuickTime bell housing over here, which go on after the clutch, and everything's installed and lined up. And then here is the coup de grace. This is our Tremec Magnum T56 from American Powertrain. It's a close ratio 6-speed. That, coupled with the 342 limited slip rear end and the Trans Am, ought to make for a very streetable package. Should have great acceleration and should be able to cruise at a relatively low RPM. So be a great combination, great setup. We'll install this nice little MSD starter onto our engine after we get the bell housing mounted up and everything. So for now, that's about where we are on this thing. Just waiting on the car to get back from paint. Very excited to see it. We'll drop the motor in, drop the tranny in. Since the car's been freshly painted, we probably will test fit the tranny after we get the bell housing, after we get the clutch, flywheel, and bell housing on. We'll test fit the tranny, make sure everything's perfect there, pull the tranny back off, drop the motor into the engine, because we don't want to scratch the engine anyway, and whenever you try to shoehorn a motor and tranny into a car with the front end still on the car, it makes for a challenge. So we'll drop the engine in, raise the car up on the lift, get underneath it, pop the tranny in, put the cross member in, then we'll go ahead and bolt up our headers and make sure they all fit perfect. We're using a nice set of Doug headers for this motor. Do all of our exhaust system, put our aluminum Be Cool radiator in it, and fire this mother up, see how she runs, and hopefully she'll run good. So that's all for video 3. We'll do video 4 after we get the car actually running, and kind of on the downhill side. So thank you very much.